Welcome to the Daily WIP, the show where we talk about how to use video in business to hit your goals. My name is Rollo Wenlock. This episode, we're going to be talking about different types of video on the sales journey. In a couple of weeks, we're doing a workshop with an agency and a lot of their clients. And these clients are field marketers. So they're out in the field, they have MQLs they've got to hit, they've got a lot of activity, they've got tight budgets. And the question is always, what types of videos can I do to get outcomes? And what they'll be doing is comparing what a video can do as an output versus what an email campaign might be, or what an event might do in terms of MQLs, marketing qualified leads, all these types of things. And so what I thought I'd talk about in this show today is different types of videos you can use along the way to either get more people to do a similar thing without the need of people being involved, or get a conversion rate raised because the video is doing a better job than something else, or a video is doing something like humanizing a brand during a somewhat cold sales process, which allows them to be closed quicker or even closed at all. So if we look at the very top of the funnel, so the top of the funnel is really where you're getting the first level of attraction of, who's doing what. The thing up here, and this is very hard to convince people of because it's a long game, is doing episodical content with the education and thought leadership in the area that you are then selling your product into, and this can be lower budget video. I think a lot of people who are kind of new to video get all bamboozled by agencies, big production costs, difficulty, hard to get outputs. So, for example, I watched a video last night on Facebook, which was shot on an iPhone, and it was the Prime Minister of New Zealand, my country, Jacinda Ardern, who was over in another country. I think she was in Vietnam, and she was talking about what is going on with the policy that they're trying to close. It was a 4.5-minute video, standing under a tree, getting filmed with obviously just the microphone on the phone, and here is the Prime Minister talking to her country. I think now it's up to maybe 100,000 views or so. Thousands of comments, lots of likes and everything. And this is a really good example of how production value doesn't matter so much if information is being imparted. So imagine you're a field marketer, you're out there, you're on the road, you're doing a lot of activity. You can utilize the phone in your pocket. You can get your iPhone, your Android out, and you can film. You can film yourself, you can film a customer, you can film somebody else in your team who you think is a little more easygoing on the camera, able to be much more human, as some people get a little wooden, and you're able to quickly tell a story, impart some information, something along those lines. Once you get down from the top level, and I mean I'm talking about things that don't require a lot of budget or a lot of long format effort. Once you get down from the top level attraction, and these videos can go out and be shared by other people who want to learn about the similar things that allows them to then buy your product, right? Once you go down to, say, you have a list, right? So you might be doing, say, account-based marketing. I've seen a really good example out of Marketo, where they then send out a video which is quickly, again, shot on similar technology, shot of a small group of people giving advice on how to do a certain something, which again pertains to the selling of the product that would then do that. And the really cool thing here is that if you're doing really like tight account-based marketing and you're only targeting 20, 30 possible prospects aimed around a use case you have of a customer you've already got, which is exactly the same type, you're able to make a really targeted video aimed very specifically at that exact type of company with that exact type of need for your solution. And that video, you might make a lot of them. You might make 50 of them, you might make 20 of them, and they're all really specific. They're not shared on social, they're not pushed out anywhere, they're really just used in email account-based. So you'll email a prospect list of 20 who act exactly like this other one, and that video is all about that exact customer, that exact use case, which relates exactly to those other ones. And those 20 totally different videos, different verticals, different use cases, different personas, they're all just sent to that very short list, and then the nurture campaign goes until you get response, and then you're away. Those obviously convert much higher than generic videos that just go out to everyone. Then, when you have people who are in the consideration cycle with you, not just considering everyone, but considering you, and potentially everyone and you, you're able to then use video in terms of a much more, okay, I have your attention, I understand that you're essentially a qualified type of person who could buy from us, and then you are really wanting to know the nuts and bolts. At this point, it's really fantastic. A low budget way is to then do a walkthrough video. A walkthrough of what the product is, if it's software, what the service is, if it's a services-based, people-based company, like a walk around and talk to the different people who do the things, or if it's like a physical-based service, like show how the thing works, whatever it is, whatever the hardware, whatever the thing that has to be shipped into your office, or whatever it is. Show how it does its thing. It can be 2 minutes, it can be 5 minutes. People are now really interested in the actual nuts and bolts of what you offer. And so then you really are convincing them that you will solve the problem, and that it will be somewhat easy to implement and everything else. And this is just a great way of getting them over the hurdle of going, yeah, this is the way that we want to go. At this point also is another good chance, and not so much like the account-based almost case study, but it's to now have a human-based testimonial. And so again, get out your phone, go and see a customer, and film them in not such a boring setting as to just be sat at their desk with a plant behind them, similar to this, but somewhere a little more exciting. Film somewhere where there's a little more going on, and film them explaining to the camera about how their life is easier, like a human story about how their life is easier, how work is more pleasurable because your product or service has been implemented into the company, right? And so then that's another low production value, easy to produce and consume video, which you can then email these people. And again, you might go specifically, the type of person that's in the video should maybe relate a little bit to the person that you're sending it to. You might have 5 or 6 of these on call to be able to send out. Again, these don't need to be sent out on social platforms and others. If you're just doing things really specifically, and these people are already in the cycle. This is obviously much more at a sales process. So the field marketer probably hands the lead over once they're somewhat qualified. But it's good to think about that whole process, right? So there you have a number of low production quality but highly effective videos that you can use through the process. And if you think about what you would have used if they weren't videos, maybe you'd have to go and see them in person all the time. That becomes highly expensive if you have to go out to lots and lots and lots of these people. So video is saving you just people cost, like FTE cost, which is really good. And then if you think about the ability to use maybe social platforms at the top end of the funnel to be able to really target types of people and put these videos in front of them. If it wasn't a video, as we know, video converts a lot higher than anything else. If it wasn't a video, what else would it be? That's really what I start to ask people. Are you going to send them an image, an infographic, a blog to read, a white paper, all these things? You go, well, they're way less consumable than a video, way less human. So I can only tell you that the conversion rate will be lower. So much better to use videos at that point. And then, of course, as you go through to the really targeted videos for really, account-based people, smaller groups, I mean, that you can do it with words. But I mean, we know, for example, that an email with the word video in the subject line is opened 20% more than an email without video in the title. So It's just stuff that people want to spend more time with. Videos, just they want to spend more time with it. So your conversion rates will be high. The only thing you have to overcome, the thing you need to overcome, is the initial thing of thinking that video will be hard, or that shooting on your phone won't be good enough. And I can tell you it will be good enough. If the Prime Minister of New Zealand can shoot a video on an iPhone and send it out to the general public and get 100,000 views and lots of comments, you can too, to sell your products. So that's what I want to talk about today. Good luck out there. And if you have any questions, just post them below and I'll jump on them as soon as I possibly can. All right, I'm Rollo Wenlock. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.